Right, we heard it our whole lives, but we never learned how to say it.
Take a seat, everyone.
My parents always spoke to me. He actually was, maybe he was a little more than me, but he went to a yeshiva that had a lot of
Gitten Shabbos freien. Everyone say, Gitten Shabbos freien.
Shabbos frei.
Es ist gut eins zu sehen heint bei Nacht. Who understood that? Pretty good, very good. Well, welcome friends here, B'nai Shalom, and everyone on live stream to this very special program called From Tisha B'Av to Tu B'Av. Songs, Yiddish songs of resilience, hope, and love. First, I'll introduce myself. I'm Rabbi Rosalie Osian, and I'm joined by an amazing group of ladies, and Rabbi Mark and Rabbi Jacob. First, Sarah Sheckman. Hi. Rhonda Horowitz-Romano. Jackie. Very nice to meet you. Nice. And Rabbi Mark. And Rabbi
Shabbos.
Shabbos, everyone. So first we're going to do a little bit of teaching, okay? And then we're going to go into some very special singing. So, as you probably know, we are in the Drei Wochen. Drei is 3. We're in the 3 weeks before Tisha B'Av. And that is the evening of August 12th. The ninth above is the date of the destruction of the 2 temples, the 2 Beit HaMikdosh, that we are going to be mourning. The 3-week period is called Bein HaMetzarim, within the straits. And especially 9 days before Tisha B'Av, the mourning period is a little bit more intense, and we continue to reframe the situation of the loss of the temples. And for this year, I am adding October 7th to my Tisha B'Av observance to connect more deeply to that tragedy. Some of the customs of the day of Tisha B'Av include taking walks, sitting on low chairs, sitting on the floor, singing dirges, chanting Megillat Eicha, the Book of Lamentations. Some of us wear soft shoes, we refrain from wearing leather, some of us fast. And just a few days after Tisha B'Av, we have Tu B'Av. And Tu B'Av is on the 15th of Av. It begins on August 19th. And it's kind of like a Jewish Valentine's Day. Kind of. So I want to teach a little bit the source of that. In Tanit 31, Talmud, among other teachings, the Mishnah taught there were no days as happy for the Jewish people as the 15th of Av and Yom Kippur. It is asked, granted, Yom Kippur is a day of joy because it has elements of pardon and forgiveness, and moreover, it is a day in which the last pair of the tablets was given. But what is so special? What is the special joy of the 15th of Av? What is so special about it? There are so many reasons and commentaries of the significance of 15th of Av, except I will just focus on one, and that is the concept of love. The Mishnah taught the daughters of Jerusalem would go out in white clothes to the vineyards and they would dance. The daughter of the king borrowed white garments from the daughter of the high priest. The daughter of the high priest borrowed garments from the deputy high priest, and so on and so on. And the people borrowed from each other so as not to embarrass one who did not have their own white garments. And the women would say to the men gathered, "Young man, please lift up your eyes and see who you choose for a wife." Rabbi Menachem Schneerson teaches about Tu B'Av and the significance of its connection to Tisha B'Av. It's a double connection. It's a sad event, Tisha B'Av, and he says sometimes sad events, at times, help us to leap forward, help us to move a little bit forward. And the transition from sadness to joy is one of gladness and a greater appreciation. So perhaps it's an enhancement. Rabbi Shaya Held, in his amazing book, Judaism is About Love, writes that grief and lament of Tisha B'Av does not have the final word in our lives. To heal from loss, he says, we choose love. When young men and women went out and danced in the vineyards, borrowing garments for themselves, whether wealthy or poor, in their striving to form partnerships with each other, they're reminded through wearing borrowed clothing that they need to have empathy for the other. Romantic love is not enough, but rather to keep the needs of others primary in their minds, even strangers, to be close to their hearts. So he says, when we are unable to explain the suffering we find in the world, and while we are trying to make sense of it, the deepest response, he says, is to walk in ways of the divine and be a vehicle for mercy and be messengers to deliver love to others. So that is Rabbi Shaya Held's words. So how has Tu B'Av evolved through the years? Well, after the destruction of the Second Temple, the Tu B'Av was not celebrated at all. It had a minor resurgence in the 19th century during the Haskalah movement, the Jewish Enlightenment. And then there was another revival that took place in Europe, in Poland, in the early 1900s by the Beis Yaakov movement. And women and Orthodox women and girls would go into the forests and they would celebrate Tu B'Av. So it had a small resurgence at that time and then continued to grow, and we'll talk more about that later.
How do Israelis celebrate Tu B'Av today? In modern Israel, Tu B'Av mirrors Valentine's Day. Couples gift flowers and chocolates, and numerous events nationwide offer unique romantic experiences. Concerts, romantic meals, holding special festivals, honoring Tu B'Av with gifts and flowers. It is an auspicious day for weddings. These two holidays represent diverse and opposite emotional states. How does one gather streams of resilience? How does a person dance emotionally and spiritually from one thing to another? What are the messages in our Jewish story about holding space for both? There are many pathways that a person can explore.
Yiddish songs. Yiddish folk songs and their messaging throughout the generations reflect a pathway toward resilience, hope, and love. Songs were introduced as early as the 14th century in Europe, and the lyrics are a representation of so many aspects of Jewish life and the feelings that were connected to an experience. Songs about holidays, liturgies, celebrations, Shabbat, table hymns, satires, riddles, love, critiques, helplessness, afterlife, history, the foretelling of the future. Songs that began as poems and were part of the Yiddish theatrical production, or excerpt from other songs, or translated from English songs. Yiddish songs anchored the listener to the Jewish experience that through the generations was creatively repurposed to endure.
Your songbook contains the songs we'll sing. The Yiddish is transliterated and then translated to English. Please join in when guided. We are not professional singers. We are telling stories. through Yiddish songs as though around a campfire. Dialects and diction may be varied. The songs are sourced from various origins and were translated by others, designed for poetic purposes and not word for word. Each song sheet has a YouTube link at the top, so you can also listen to the songs at home if you're so inclined.
After Shabbos.
After Shabbos. My earliest childhood memories include listening to Yiddish songs. Songs that my parents sang to me, or from Jewish radio stations, WEBD, or sitting up close to the record player and studying the record's jacket cover, front and back. These beautiful and powerful songs contain the complete spectrum of the human condition in history, culture, faith, questioning. Yiddish songs contributed to my youth's journey into adulthood and are still meaningful today, and I really cherish that I had that experience growing up. I find that it was very valuable. As we go along, I'll share a word here and there about the song or about the poet that wrote the song, the origins. You are invited to look at the English also, find metaphors for yourselves, inspirations, and frankly, at times, conflicts about the way things used to be. I'll cheer you on sing-along opportunities, and at the end of the program, if there's time, we're going to have a question and answer session, and you'll be invited to share your own personal Yiddish experiences. The songs are in categories, starting off with our Tisha B'Av, honoring and remembering. That's a mourning song. We have a cradle songs, weddings from the parents' perspective songs, humor, unity, self-determination, and songs about love. Each one of these songs can be its own Friday night. First Friday night. And before we continue, I really want to give acknowledgement to Lois Linsky, who has put this together and has, I believe, taken charge of the Friday night series, the first Friday night series. So thank you so much. So the first song that we're going to do together is called Shabbos Zol Zayin, Let It Be Shabbos. It was written by Mordechai Gebertik. He lived from 1877 to 1942. Mordechai was a Polish Jewish poet, songwriter, and among the cultural activists of his day. He was self-taught in music. He played the shepherd's pipe and tunes on the piano with one finger. He also wrote songs for the theater. Some of his well-known songs were about longing, loss, and love. He wrote a well-known work called Es Brennt. It burnt, Es brennt, wieder lach, es brennt. And he wrote that for a pogrom that took place in a Polish town. And it was sung in ghettos, and it's still one of the most performed songs at commemorative events. In June 1942, on the 4th of June, on the corner of Dubrovki and Janova Wola streets in the Krakow ghetto, the Germans shot a group of Jews who were being led to a transport to the Belzec death camp. Among them was Mordechai Gebertik, considered the last Jewish bard of Krakow. Mordechai Gebertik, in Shemayim, in this shul in Boulder, Colorado, we are singing your song, Shabbos Zol Zayin, on page 3. And the translation of this song is Sabbath, may there be, fellow Jews, Sabbath. May there be peace, may there be Yom Tov and holidays throughout the world. Chat, shtayim, shalosh, eins, zwei, drei. Ya ba 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 bum 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 bum. Ya ba 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 bum. Ya ba 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 bum 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 bum. Ya ba 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 bum. Shabbos, 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 Shabbos. Zol zayin jeden Shabbos. Shabbos Zol Zayin, Shabbos Zol Zayin, Shabbos auf der ganze Welt. Yontif, 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 Yontif. Zol Zayin jeden Yontif. Yontif Zol Zayin, Yontif Zol Zayin,
Jantiv auf der ganzen Welt. Shalom, 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 Shalom. Soll sein jeden Shalom. Shalom soll sein, Shalom soll sein, Shalom auf der ganzen Welt. Ya ba 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 bam 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bam 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bam.
And now it changes. Shabbos, Yantiv, Shalom, all together.
Shabbos, 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 Shabbos. Soll sein jeden Shabbos. Shabbos soll sein, Jantiv soll sein, Shalom soll sein, Shalom auf der ganzen Welt. Ya ba 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 bam 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bam 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bam.
A little bit of a letting go, bringing in that Shabbos stronger and stronger. Got a beautiful Kabbalat Shabbat, a Maariv, and a beautiful, delicious, delicious dinner. And now we're here together singing, and the Ner Tamid is our campfire. So now we move to Tisha B'Av. Sorrowful dispositions are reflected in many Yiddish songs, songs that implore, songs that question, and Jewish history is reflected in Yiddish songs. The Book of Lamentations asks Eicha, how is it possible? Using the same letters in the word Eicha, one can read Ayeka, where are you? The same question God asked Adam in Genesis. It's a question that we ask not only of the divine, but also of the world. An underlying message which you will find in the next two songs. The first song is Unter deine weiße Stern, Under Your White Stars, and the second song is Mitte Ruchel, Mother Rachel. And they each contain personal and communal emotional depths reflecting loss and sorrow. Unter deine weiße Stern was written by Avraham Satzkever, with music by Avram Budno. Satzkever lived from 1913 to 2010. He was born in southeast of Vilna. He was a poet, and what he witnessed is reflected in the songs that he wrote. He survived the war and testified at Nuremberg. He moved to Israel, where he emerged as a national poet. His daughter Mira was interviewed and shared, when he wrote this song, Unter deine weiße Stern, Under Your White Stars, he was sitting on the balcony within the ghetto walls of Vilna, and the words just came to him. And from these few words, other words came to him, and it just emerged. He didn't believe over time that this particular song would gain such strength and would be translated into so many languages. The composer, unfortunately, Avram Budno, he perished in 1943 or 1944 in an Estonian concentration camp. Unter deine weiße Stern on page 4. Unter deine weiße Stern. If you know the song, you may join. Streck zu mir dein weiße Hand. Meine Werte seinen Tränen willen ruhen in dein Hand. Sei es Tuko, sei es Finko, in mein Keller dicken Blick. Und ich hab gar nicht kein Mikro, sei zu schenken dir zurück. Und ich hab gar nicht kein Mikro, sei zu schenken dir zurück. Und ich will doch Gott getreuer dir vertrauen, mein Vermögen, weil es mahnt in mir auf Feuer und in Feuer meine Tag. Nur in Kellerin und nachher weht die mörderische Ruhe, Bleib ich hecher, über Dächer, und ich such, wo bist du? Bleib ich hecher, über Dächer, und ich such, wo bist du? Nemmen jagen mich mehr schöner, Trepp und Häufen mit Geräusch. Häng ich a geplatzte Stunde, und ich sing zu dir also. Unter deine weiße Sterne, streck zu mir dein weiße Hand. Meine Werte seinen Tränen, willen Ruhe in der Hand.
Under your white starry heaven, offer me your pale white hand. All my words are flowing teardrops. I would place them in your hands. Gone the luster from their brightness, seen through morbid cellar view, and I no longer have my own space to reflect them back to you. My devoted God, I offer everything that I possess, as the fire that I suffer fills each fiery day I pass. Only in the holes and cellars, with deadly rest the days I share, I run higher over spire, searching where are you, oh where? I am chased by phantom beings, stairs and courtyards goad me to. There I hang a broken bowstring, and I sing once more to you. Under your white starry heaven, offer me your pale white hand. All my words are flowing teardrops. I would place them in your hand.
The writer of the next song, Mitteruchel, which we'll be singing very soon, is unknown. Summers in Catskill Mountains in the 1960s was a machaya, a delight, but there were somber aspects during those summer days, the days leading up to Tisha B'Av. Less fun, no swimming, eating dairy only. And the evening and morning of Tisha B'Av, the women gathered under the trees for shade. They sat on the ground. Between them were 2 or 3 copies of the Suna Rena, the Women's Bible in Yiddish. A designated reader would begin reading the Megillas Eicha. The older women were tearful. The younger ones sang. To these women, Tisha B'Av was not just a holiday on the calendar. The entire 25 or so hours of the fast day, their stance reflected a profound connection to the story of the destruction and also their responsibility to remember it so deeply that it was imprinted upon the generations that followed them.
Mitteruchel is on page 5.
Okay. Between Hebron and Bethlehem, on the way there lies a stone. There rests Rachel Imenu in this desert all alone. There rests Rachel Imenu in the desert all alone. Rachel Imenu, Rachel Imenu, your children are suffering greatly. They are being rounded up and driven from one end of the earth to another. They are being rounded up and driven from one end of the earth to another. Rachel Imenu, your children are sobbing. Awaken from your burial place and renew them once again. Awaken from your burial place and renew them once again. Rachel Imenu.
The very last 2 lines will be that I'll chant in Yiddish are the first and last lines of the Megillat Eicha. 1, 2, 3. Zwischen Hebron in Bethlehem, auf dem Weg dort liegt der Stein, dort liegt die Mitteruchel, in am Midbar ganz allein. Dort liegt die Mitteruchel, in am Midbar ganz allein. Mitteruchel, deine Kinder leiden sehr, sie werden verjuckt und vertrieben, in ein Ort zum anderen. Sie werden verjuckt und vertrieben, in ein Ort zum anderen. Mit Deine Kinder weinen seien, steig ein auf in dein Kalbe, mit dieser noch am Obernein. Steig ein auf in dein Kalbe, mit dieser noch am Obernein. Mit der Ruchu, mit der Ruchu. Wir sein, sie gerne besitzen, die Stadt Jerusalem ganz allein. Mach ihn zum Kehren, zu dir zurückgehen, allein zu der Tag, wie Frieden. Mit der Ruchu, mit der Ruchu. Now we are transitioning to a different section of our program.
Lullabies and cradle songs. One of the best known and loved Yiddish lullabies of all time, Rosalie mit Mandlin, Raisins and Almonds, written by Abraham Goldfaden as part of his opera Shalamis in the Yiddish Theater in 1880. The song is about a mother rocking her baby to sleep. A little goat stood under the child's cradle, bringing a gift of raisins and almonds to help soothe the child to sleep. Some understand the song to be a metaphor for the exiled Jewish people and their promised redemption. Raisins and almonds may symbolize the milk and honey of the land of Israel or choice offerings brought to the Holy Temple.
Ivan Pripychik by Mark Wachowski, lived from 1848 to 1907, was a folk poet and composer. He was born in Odessa. He went to rabbinical high school and became an attorney. He was influenced by Goldfaden, and he toured with Shalom Aleichem, Yiddish author and playwright. He had aspirations of coming to America, but unfortunately became ill, and he died in Kiev. His songs reflected what he saw around him in the Jewish community. Ivan Pripychik is about the importance of learning the Hebrew alphabet and attaches meaning to the process. Rajinkes mit Mandlin and Ivan Pripychik are songs of encouragement. The songs foretell that the child will grow up and the child will be accomplished. It's a Jewish mother. And if the child should meet up with circumstances that are challenging or perhaps pull them away from the traditions, the child is encouraged to remember the songs that the mother sang to him or her, songs of resilience.
At a graveside funeral, the daughter of the deceased played Ivan Pripychik on the violin. Past the mound of dirt, the leaning shovels in the open field, there were tombstones clustered together, row after row, seemingly to infinity, with their Hebrew inscriptions as if testaments to this melody. The 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are not just for communication. The letters are spiritual building blocks. It is taught that just as the carpenter employs tools to build a home, so God utilized the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the Aleph base, to form heaven and earth. These letters are the metaphorical wood, stone, and nails, cornerposts and crossbeams of our earthly and spiritual existence. As the daughter played the song that she said her mother taught her, one could not help but wonder about the destiny of a song. Is it possible that once you learned Ivan Pripychik, a song about teaching Hebrew letters, you accepted the responsibility to teach it to others?
Rajinkes mit Mandlin on page 6. La, 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 la. Please join if you know. In the Beis Hamikdash, in a Bigel Cheder, sitzt die Almone Basia in Allein. ben yachid u'idele v'zid keseder. Singen zum Schlafen Halidele Schreis. Halleluja, und Rideles Wiegele steht am Tor bei Siegele. Das Siegele ist gefallen Handen. Das wird sein dein Ruf, Roschenkes mit Mandeln. Schlaf, Sheidele, schlaf, Sheidele, schlaf, Sheidele, schlaf. Alleluia. Now we move to Eiffel Privilegic on page 7. Eiffel Privilegic brennt a fire und die Stube ist heiß und die Rebellen kleine Kinder lacht dem Aleph Beis und die Rebellen kleine Kinder lacht dem Aleph Beis. Seche Kinder gedenkte Teile, was sie lernen so. Soche nach Amo und Tage nach Amo, kam es alle vor. Soche nach Amo und Tage nach Amo, kam es alle vor. Lernen Kinder mit Kreisfläche, als euch so geht Heilung. Wenn's vergiftet von ein kleiner Liebe, der kommt davon. Wenn's vergiftet von ein kleiner Liebe, der kommt davon. Als ihr der Kinder älter werden, wird ihr allein verstehen. Wie füllen die euch geistigen Tränen und wie viel Geweih. Wie füllen die euch geistigen Tränen und wie viel Geweih. Als ihr der Kinder dem Gottes schleppen, euch gemischt seid, solltet von die euch keuer schleppen, guckt in Seier rein. Solltet von die euch keuer schleppen, guckt in Seier rein. Seche Kinder, gedenkte Teile, was lernen so. Soche nach Amo und Tage nach Amo, komm es alle vor. Soche nach Amo und Tage nach Amo, komm es alle vor. Deep breaths. Oh, that was beautiful. Love hearing you sing. Very special. Felt the letters rising, you know? Some moving traditions. We have some moving traditions from the parents' perspective. Solomon Nomovich Rabinovich lived from 1859 to 1916, better known under the pen name Shalom Aleichem. He was a Yiddish author and playwright who lived in the Russian Empire and also in the United States. He wrote Tevye the Dairyman, among other works, from which the 1964 musical Fiddler on the Roof was based. We bring you an excerpt from that story from a chapter in Aleichem's book called Today's Children. Tevye the Dairyman, played by Rabbi Mark, and Mutzel the Tailor, played by Rabbi Jacob, meet up and have this conversation.
Good evening, Rabbi Tevye.
And to you. Sit, mortal, on God's earth. What brings you here?
What brings me here? My feet. I've been meaning to speak to you for a long time, Rabbi Tevye, but I haven't had the time. As soon as I finish one piece of work, I have to start another. Nowadays, I work for myself as a tailor. Thank God there's plenty of work. All the tailors have as much work as they can handle. It's a continuous summer of wedding.
Everyone is marrying off daughters, but I am not at that point yet. Perhaps I'm not worthy in God's eyes.
No, you're mistaken, Rabbi. If you wanted, you would also be marrying off a daughter. Depends on you.
Really? In what way? Perhaps you have a match for my title.
Perfect fit?
Is it at least the right match?
Like a glove.
Where is your match from? Do I know him?
You know him, Rabbi.
Is it really a good match?
It's made to measure. It's custom-made, one-of-a-kind, cut and sewn to order.
Who is it, this match?
Who is it? The match. Please understand me, Rabbi. I myself.
Are you crazy or just out of your mind? You are the matchmaker and the bridegroom. Will you be playing the music too at your own wedding? I never heard of such a thing. A young man arranging a match for himself?
This is the way it is, Rabbi. I and your daughter, Tzaitel, pledged to marry over a year ago.
Don't I have a little something to say about my child? Or don't you even ask anymore?
God forbid. That's why, when I heard that Laser Wolf, the butcher, was asking to marry your daughter, whom I have loved for over a year, I came to talk it over with you. I love your daughter, and your daughter loves me. And we gave each other a pledge over a year ago.
To make a long story short, he convinced me. Why should we fool ourselves? How do all Jewish children get married? Huh? In our walk of life, if we were to worry about how young people could make it, none of us would have ever got married. But one thing still stuck in my craw that I could not understand, no matter what. They made a pledge to marry? What was our world coming to? A young man met a girl and said to her, let's pledge to marry? That was not done!
Conveying a sense of acceptance and reconciliation that sometimes traditions can change and love can prevail, and in this instance, a lot of breaking of tradition. The generations move forth with a simcha in this small Russian town of Anatevka, despite the darkness to come. We bring you Tog Ein, Tog Ois, Sunrise, Sunset, on page 8 in our songbook.
Das mein Mädele, das Kleine, ist es das Jüngele, ich seh.
Ignora Kupischein erwachsen, seinen See.
Wenn ist sie ja so schön geworden, wenn ist sie euch gewachsen heuch.
Erst Nächten haben sie gespielt in Heim.
Tag ein, Tag aus, Tag ein, Tag aus, das ist unser Lein. Sternende hat gegeben Blumen und ihre Nacht hat euch daheim. Tag ein, Tag aus, Tag ein, Tag aus, das ist dein Geschenk. Läufen wir nacheinander, folgen sie Frieden mit der Träne. ich mit Eitze sei geworgen, soll ich sei helfen, efsche sog.
Gott helf sei jeden Frühmorgen, Tag bei Tag.
Sie sehen euch von geboren.
Und wie ein Napperfach sie euch, ist nachher aber du vor uns, nur Gleis.
Tag ein, das ist ein Geschenk. Laufen die Jahre noch beieinander, freuen sich, reden mit das Schön.
Die Mazinka. How many people know what the Mazinka is?
The music in an in-law? No.
Yes.
The youngest child.
The youngest.
A Jewish wedding. The parents of the bride and groom are seated in the center of the room. Laurels are placed on their heads. The guests grab brooms and begin dancing and sweeping the floor to the melody of the Die Mazinka Ausgegeben. The youngest is given away. Rabbi Reuven Beckett, in an article called The Mazinka Dance, Tradition, Folklore, or Other, concludes in his piece that the Mazinka dance is traced back to Ukrainian weddings in the late 1800s that would last for days and days, and at its conclusion, the guests would put the parents of the bride or groom on a wagon and take them to the village inn or bar for the so-called selling of the parents, which meant that the parents had to buy everyone drinks. It was the youngest child that was married. If it was the youngest child that was married off, they would also place laurels on the parents' heads. Jewish tavern keepers saw this, and they adopted it. That's how the custom became part of Jewish weddings. The song reflects the joyousness of marrying off the youngest and encouraging the guests to join in the celebration. It reflects nachas, pleasure, satisfaction, delight, and proud enjoyment. The word nachas comes from the word lanuach, which means to rest, to be at ease. And going deeper, the joyousness comes with the hope that these parents who are receiving the Mazinka dance will one day be blessed to dance the Mazinka at their grandchildren's weddings. The word Mazinka comes from the Ukrainian word meaning pinky, the smallest of the fingers, therefore the youngest child. Oh, do we have our brooms? Oh, we're going to stand up. Okay. And this is a fast song. You're welcome to stand up and stretch and move around a little bit. Ah, here we go. Hecher besser, didot magresser, Greis hat mir Gott gemacht, Blick hat mir gebracht, hohe Kinder ganze Nacht, die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben. Starker Freile, die Marke ich den Mende, oi, ich allein hat mit meiner Augen gesehen, wie Gott hat mir Matzlier gewählt, die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben. Itzig, spitzig, was schreibst du mit spitzig? Auf die Kleismer gib a Spray zu spielen, sei zu stoppen, sei. Reiß die Stimme, es läuft zwei, die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben. Eisig, massig, die Babbe geht da kassig. Keinen Haare seht, nur seht, wie sie tuppert, wie sie dreht. Euer Simcha, euer Fried, die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben. Mattel am Schimmen, die armen Leute gekommen. Stellt bei sie dem schönsten Tisch, teure Wein, teure Fisch. Komm, mein Tochter, und gib mir a Kisch. Die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben, die Mazinka ausgegeben. Humor, satire, double entendres. Looking at ourselves, looking at others. In Yiddish songs, it is fair to say that everyone and every situation was fair game. such as a song called Rabbi Elimelech, where the partying went a little too far. Even the musicians mixed up their instruments and caroused brightly till the next day. And the song Chiribim Chiribam, a song that was culturally rich with lyrics, offers a glimpse of Jewish life. Children sing a happy song, one with words that rhyme, and mother is cooking a lakshan soup with kasha and knedlach. And Yom Tov Chanukah is soon to arrive. In Lamar Alazingen, Let Us Sing a Song, published by Menachem Kipnis, we have a delightful rendition that uses food to look at the contrast between the rich and the poor. If you can't afford rich food, you could afford to sing about rich food while you are experiencing sorrows. Page 11, Lamer alle Singen. 1, 2, 3. Lamer alle singen, alles general, Leven is troi, Bosse bedoiden, Chomatamim. Zog Shemer Rebenu, Lechem is Vos, Vage Groise Negidim, is Lechem Afrishike Bilkele. Aber bei uns Kapsonim, oi Kapsonim, oi Dafonim, is Lechem Adare Skorinke Neber, oi. Lover alle singen, Zemmerl, Lechem is Broi, Bosse bedoiden, Chomatamim. Zog Shemer Rebenu, Basar is Vos, but the groise Negidim is Basar a gebrotene Katschkele. Aber bei uns Kapsonim, oi Kapsonim, oi Dafonim, is Basar a dare Kishkele Nebach. Lamer alle singen, Zemmerl, Lechem is Broi, Bosse bedoiden, Chomatamim. Zog Shemer Rebenu, Dogim is Vos, but the groise Negidim is Dogim a Hechtele. Aber bei uns Kapsonim, oi Kapsonim, oi Dafonim, is Dogim ein ausgeweigter Heringel, Nebach. Lamer alle singen, Zemmerl, Lechem is Broi, Bosse bedoiden, Chomatamim. Zog Shemer Rebenu, Matamim is Vos, but the groise Negidim is Matamim Kompot. Aber bei uns Kapsonim, oi Dafonim, is Matamim gehackte Zures, Nebach. Lamer alle singen, Zemmerl, Lechem is Broi, Bosse bedoiden, Chomatamim. Redemption, the action of saving or being saved, or regaining possession of something in exchange for payment. Mashiach means anointed one, the scion of David, King David. And in Maimonides' 13 Principles of Faith, a belief in the ultimate redemption, an era of world peace, prosperity, and wisdom. Many Yiddish songs reference the ideas of redemption and Mashiach. As in Schneerla Perla, Little String, Little Pearl, published by S. Ginsberg and P. Marek in St. Petersburg in 1901. The song envisions the promise of the arrival of Mashiach. At the conclusion of Shabbat in our own liturgy, some folks sing Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the Prophet, which is also sung at the Passover Seders, and invokes the concept of Eliyahu arriving with Mashiach. Leaving the Holy Shabbos and entering the week likely came with extra hardships for our ancestors. Prayers about redemption brought hope and purpose. We are invited in the song that we're going to sing to partake of the poet's vision and also ask ourselves, what does redemption mean to me? If I had to create a poem, a song, a ritual to bring forth my personal meanings about redemption, what would that look like? What does Mashiach mean to each of us? And perhaps later we'll have a conversation. Shnera La Perla is on page 12. We can rise for this one. Yes.
Mashiach ben David sitzt on. Halte Becher in der rechten Hand, macht Zerbroche auf dem ganzen Land. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr. Bilder von Mashiach ben David sitzen an. Hält der Becher in der rechten Hand, macht Zerbroche auf dem ganzen Land. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr.
Wird kommen so voran, weil sein gute Jahren. Wird kommen so reiten, weil sein gute Zeiten. Wird kommen so gehen, wenn die Jeden in Eretz Yisrael einstehen.
Shnera Perla Gilden von Mashiach ben David sitzt an. Halte Becher in der rechten Hand, macht Zerbroche auf dem ganzen Land. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr.
Wird kommen so voran, wenn sein gute Jahren. Wird kommen so reiten, wer sein gute Seiten. Wird kommen so gehen, wenn die Jeden in Eretz Yisrael einstehen.
Mashiach ben David sitzen an. Halte Becher in der rechten Hand, macht Zerbroche auf dem ganzen Land. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr. Amen, das ist wahr. Mashiach gekommen, heimtiges Jahr.
The next four songs hold concepts that include unity, hope, and self-determination. And there are so many Yiddish songs to offer these thoughts, encouraging people to keep it together, keep it going, to not give up. Purposeful, reflective songs of courage, bravery, and resistance. So please join us on page 13 for Arum Dem Fire, Round the Campfire. Die, 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 die,
Arum dem Feuer, wir singen Lieder, die Nacht ist heier, wir retten nieder. Soll der Feuer verloschen werden, steigt auf den Himmel mit seinem
deine Stern. Tokoi die Kerl, mit Blumen tanzen, Harum der Feier, mit Leben tanzen. Tanz und Lied ist unser Leben, der noch in Schlaf allein beschweben. Lei, 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 another favorite of mine on page 14. Unity among brothers and sisters. Alle Brüder, alle Schwestern, or brothers and sisters. By Joshua Jacobson and Morris Winchesky and A. Litvin. Eins, zwei, drei. Und wir seien alle Brüder, oi, oi, alle Schwestern. Und wir singen fröhlich Lieder, oi, oi, oi.
Und wir hatten singen nehmen, oi, oi, singen nehmen. Selbst es ist nicht doch ein Nehmen, oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Wir singen alle einig, oi, oi, alle einig. Wir singen viel einig, oi, oi, oi. Und wir lieben sich doch alle, oi, oi, sich doch alle. Wie erwachsen mit der Kalle, oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Wir tanzen unter, oi, oi, oi. Und wir seien alle Brüder, oi, oi, alle Schwestern. Und wir singen fröhlich Lieder, oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi.
So the next song is called the Beis Yaakov song. The Beis Yaakov movement is known today as the largest network of ultra-Orthodox schools for girls in the world. In 1917, a seamstress who had completed only 8 years of schooling named Sarah Schneerer opened a school for girls in Krakow, Poland. It was a phenomenal endeavor, and she was met with a lot of resistance, but she was passionate about empowering girls to be able to learn Torah and have a greater role in Judaism and in their destiny, and hopefully remain within the fold. She was also responsible for reviving Tu B'Av. She had celebrations where she gathered her seminary students and the teachers, and they would go into the fields and the forests. They would teach, they would dance, and they would affirm their own capacity for learning and be responsible Jewish women. The song the song that we're about to sing became the Beis Yaakov School anthem, and it was written by a poet, Eliezer Schindler, and he was born in Poland, and he came to the U.S. in 1938. He became a farmer in Lakewood, New Jersey, and he was a great advocate for communal, rural, and agricultural life. And he was so moved by witnessing the Beis Yaakov girls and their hope for learning and their commitment that he wrote these words.
We are like birds free, we're like flowers in the field. Together as faithful friends, we are children of Jacob's tent. Let us all walk in the path of Torah. Let us all walk in the path of Torah. We learn and sing together. We live in joy in one another. No hatred exists among us. The Torah, she is our bond. Let us all walk in the path of Torah. Let us all walk in the path of Torah. We are faithful to our Creator. We guard God's holy law. We promise to uphold the truth, to worship our holy God. Let us all walk in the path of Torah. Let us all walk in the path of Torah.
Wir seien wie Vögel auf Reihe, wir seien wie Blumen auf dem Feld, wir seien Chaveros Getreie, wir Kinder von Jakobs gezählt. Lo mir alle gehen in Teures Weg. Lo mir alle gehen in Teures Weg. Wir leben und singen zusammen, wir leben in Freiheit und Banat, kein Sinne bei uns nicht verraten, in Teure sie sind der Bund. Lo mir alle gehen in Teures Weg. Lo mir alle gehen in Teures Weg. Wir seien in Getreu unser Beure, wir hielten sein heilig Gebot, wir schwören zu halten die Teure, zu dienen dem einzigen Gott. Lo mir alle gehen in Teures Weg. Lo mir alle gehen in Teures Weg. And now our last section of our offerings, love songs. Jacob loved Rachel and agreed to work 7 years for her father Laban, his uncle, so that he could marry Rachel. And it seemed to Jacob but a few days, these 7 years, because he loved her so. And when Laban reneged on their agreement and placed the eldest daughter Leah as the bride, boy, Jacob worked another 7 years for his beloved. There are all kinds of love. As taught earlier, we are encouraged to seek it, because Tisha B'Av does not have the final word. In Yiddish love songs, we find riddles, challenges, romance, and purpose. Mordechai Gebertek, who wrote Shabbos Sol Zayin, our first song, also wrote a love song called Rosalie, my Yiddish name. And has anyone here ever lived through the tension of dating someone your family didn't approve of? Or questioning your children's partnering choices? And the lengths it took to balance all of that. In Rosalie, a girl is seeking a guy she's seeing a guy who is not from like her mother. She wants to make it work out, so she asks him to stop whistling because it's not their custom, and she knits him a tefillin case with a big Jewish star on it, so that he can take to shul and show everyone that she made it for him. What are we willing to do for love? Here's the boy's response to the girl Rosalie.
Sorry. I won't be whistling up no more. To that I make a little oath. For your sake, I will even be pious, my devout dear. I'll be pious, my little Rosie, devout just like your mom, going to shul every Sabbath. Come here, come here, come here.
And this is how it sounds in Yiddish. Well, Rauf nit pfeifen mehr, der Rauf gib ich a Schwule. Dir zu lieb, weil ich a viele werden frim mein Znuele. Weil ich werden frim mein Resel, wie die Mama frum. Jeden Shabbos gehen in Kleisel. And our last two songs were selected for their popularity. I just want to say there were so many songs, hundreds of songs, so this was really hard to whittle down. So hard. Notably, these two songs were popularized by the Barry sisters and Theodor Bakel. On page 16, we have Shem V'di Levone, and then followed by Tumba Lalaika, which Rabbi Jacob will join. So please sing along. We don't have the entire Shem Yilvanet due to time. We're just going to have the first stanza. Do 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 do. Shem vidi levonen, liftig vidi Stern, von Himmel am Matone, bis wir zu dir schickt. Mein Glück hab ich gewonnen, wenn ich hab dir gefunden, schenk ich tausend Sonnen, hat mein Herz bewegt. Page 17. Rabbi Jacob, you ready? Okay. Steht der Bucher ohne Tracht, Tracht und Tracht der ganze Nacht. Wenn es zu nehmen und nicht verschämen, wenn es zu nehmen und nicht verschämen. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbalaika, spielbalalaika, spielbalalaika, freilich soll sein.
Mädel, Mädel, viel weiter prägen, Bosken wachsen, wachsen. Bosken brennen nicht auf Erden, Bosken brennen, brennen.
Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbalaika, spielbalalaika, spielbalalaika, freilich soll sein. Narische Bucher, was darfst du fragen? Hast Denken wachsen, wachsen und regen. Die Wolken brennen und nicht aufhören, ein Herz kann denken, brennen und werden. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbalaika, spielbalalaika, spielbalalaika, freilich soll sein. This is the story of young Jewish souls who look to connect and something to hold. The Torah is deep, but what I have found, the song of our people forever are bound. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbalaika, shilalaika, shilalaika, freilich soll sein. So before we will have a whole conversation. Oh, it was a pleasure. It was a labor of love, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I love these songs. I have a stack of songs. I had to choose. It was very hard. They say, cut down, and then no. But just some thank yous before we move on to discussion. Lois, Ayashakar to you. Rabbi Mark, Rabbi Jacob, thank you for participating. You are real sports. Sarah, Ron, and Jackie, thank you so much.
Rabbi Rosalie.
And Rabbi Rosalie!
And Jennifer's been taking care of us so well. Thank you so much. A lot of discussion to take place. But first, anyone have anything on their mind that they want to bring up?
A große Dank.
Ah.
A große Dank.
Die Stoffabas. So she says, thank you very much. And I said, no, it's nothing. But I did bring up a little bit about, yes.
You know how people remember songs even when they don't remember anything else? Robert just remembered that his father used to sing him Tumbala.
Oh.
He was so cute.
It's in here and here, very much.
It brings memories back. You know, it really does.
It conjures up.
It conjures up all the growing up memories with all the songs. And we have the records. Or we had the records.
It does evoke, yes.
It felt like my grandparents were here.
We're not that old.
They were listening.
They were just I grew up hearing them speak Yiddish from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
That brought me back to the rocks.
Yay!
We lived with my grandmother in this little apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just brought it right back, just picture.
Yeah, it's a part of our story, our generational story.
My grandmother used to sing it to me when I was young, and I used to sing it to our kids to try to put them to sleep when they were babies. It didn't work, but
You mean Tumba Malaika specifically?
no, like a privilege.
Oh.
In Russian, just
That song just brings such memories back to me.
Mm-hmm. It brings a lot of comfort to people. It's almost the equivalent of the Shema Yisrael I found when I work with people from Russian communities who had come to the United States, and instead of the Shema Yisrael, it was from Pripyat. It was very close to their thoughts.
So I have two little stories. One, I was born in Poland right after the war in a Holocaust survivor family. So we didn't sing much. But my mother sang one song. I mean, I was also born in a very religious, from family and Yiddish speaking, although I don't remember that much anymore. The one song that my mother used to sing, which is not here, and I'm a little surprised, and she probably used to sing, was a sad song. It's Donna, Donna, Donna.
It was one of the ones that was cut.
we cut it.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones.
Yeah, so that's the, and the other story is that amongst us, the people of my generation, even though many people didn't really know Yiddish, they knew Yiddish songs. And so we used to sing when we got together with camps for kids and teenagers and so on. And we still have reunions of the people who were exiled in '68, so we are now in our 70s. And in fact, every few years we have reunions in Israel. We have one coming up in September. And when we get together, these are the songs that we sing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Donna, Donna, Donna,
Donna, Donna, Donna, Donna, Donna, Donna, Donna, Donna, Donna,
Life unforderlich, das Kerbel liegt gebunden mit der Strick. Heute im Himmel fliegt das Stärbel, fliegt sich hin und zurück. Lacht in den Choren, lacht und lacht und lacht, lacht am Waldorger Ganzen mit a halbe Nacht. Donna, 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 Donna. Thank you for bringing that. Thank you very much.
And today, in a few days, it's her young time.
What was that?
Next, I think on the 8th, which is Thursday, next Thursday, is her young time.
May she have heard us.
So we brought it. So we talked a little bit about Mashiach in the introduction of Shnira Leperla. And I wondered if there was any thoughts to that. It's a tough subject. It's late, but maybe it's a good time.
It's not soon enough, as far as I'm concerned.
Redemption, something. I guess what it means to each of us. And it's so personal. So we carry that with us. I want to wish you all a gute Nacht and a guten Shabbos. And I shame Dank Rabbi Mark for opening up the opportunity and for letting us bring this here.
Do want to say before, two real quick things. If you need to leave, you should go.
Or have more songs
I
we can sing.
think that one thing about Mashiach, many of us knew Irene Rosenstein, who was a incredible, beautiful woman who was in Auschwitz. And I will never forget her telling me, whenever she was asked, like, how did you survive? She used to say, there was always a rumour going around the camp that on Tuesday Mashiach was coming. And then when Mashiach didn't come on Tuesday, they said, oh, he's coming next Wednesday. And they'd always have the possibility of Mashiach to keep them and surviving. Like, she just touched me so deeply. She said that.
So let us remember that beautiful vision. And we're in hard times now. We're in very difficult times. It feels like there's chaos everywhere. We touch and move. And some of these songs are great teachers, and some of our ancestors are great teachers.
But the other thing I wanted to say is more of a sort of plug, because as Rabbi Rosalie said, Tisha B'Av is coming up. It's not a day that many of us are used to observing, but this year it feels particularly poignant, and we do have Rosalie is one of the readers of Eicha, of the Book of Lamentations. She'll be reading, I think, in Hebrew, not Yiddish.
Hebrew. I could do Yiddish too.
But, everyone's invited to come. It starts at 8 o'clock on that evening, Monday the 13th. And then we have Mariv and the Eicha reading. Oh, the 12th, sorry. The 12th. Monday night, and then we have programs during the day on Tuesday. If you're interested, you can find out all of the details.
So please come, and then maybe we'll sing a little bit after.
Oh, please!
After we'll have some Yiddish songs.
Yeah, thank you. More Yiddish Union songs.
What is it?
Yiddish Union songs.
Oh yes, I have a lot of them.
songs, yes.
Some of the songs are political. There are a lot of political information about the writers and poets and. Beautiful. Gute Nacht, everyone.
Gute Nacht. Gute Nacht.